Salvation begins with a decision to follow Jesus. But sometimes I think we forget that the decision is just a starting point. William Booth, the founder of the Salvation Army, once said, "Salvation is who we are. It is in our DNA. Salvation is getting saved, keeping saved, getting others saved, and then being more and more saved each day." To him, salvation began with the decision to follow Christ, but it never ended until the day we died. When Jesus left his first bunch of disciples, on that last day, he gave them one item for their to-do list, one task. He said, "Go out and train everyone you meet, far and near, in this way of life, marking them by baptism by the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Then instruct them in the practice of all I have commanded you." He says, go out and train. Sometimes I think we forget that Jesus was the master teacher. He was a rabbi, a professor of life. He taught so much, so many lessons, so much information, so much knowledge, and you know what? Only some of that had to do with religion. Most of it had to do with life, a full, great, and awesome life. So he says to go out and teach this life to people. Teach them the information that he has given us. First, we need to learn it ourselves, but he then says, teach it to them. And he says, look, if they respond to that information, if they say, you know what, I want that kind of life, I want that kind of freedom, I want that kind of expression of how my life could be, he said, then induct them, baptize them, bring them in, make them a member of what we are and who we are. And that's fantastic, right? But that's the beginning. That's the beginning. Because then he says, then he says, after they understand what you're trying to tell them, after they've made that decision, instruct them in the practice of all I have commanded you. In other words, for the rest of our lives, we are helping people put the wisdom and the teaching of Jesus Christ into practice in their own lives. It's to make it work, to make it change their lives for the better, because that is what Jesus really wanted. That's what God, his whole purpose was all about, is to make our lives better, more honoring to him. Making a disciple, I guess, is like encouraging a player to join the team that plays by a different game plan. It begins with the player's decision to adopt the new team, to adopt the new strategy. But then the game plan means that we're going to have to learn new skills, we're going to have to study new strategies, we're going to have to train in different ways, build different capacities in the way we play. We're going to build on our fitness, we're going to learn how to work together differently, and in the end, we will win. That's the Great Commission. That's what it's all about. So let's go and do it.